This isn't the first time unemployment has been a threat to this system. 20 years ago, unemployment accounted for 10% of the UK's population.
It marked one of the worst recessions in our history, with significant waves of rioting. However, in '93, unemployment took a turn. Somehow the jobs came back and things got better. This growth in employment is just what we needed. However, it only lasted till 2001. Then the rate stagnated, then increased. By 2009, we were back to around 8%. But it's reassuring to see the recent trends of unemployment have slowed since then. Or at least it would be reassuring if it weren't for this. This chart shows the trends of part-time versus full-time employment. Notice how the increase in part-time employment runs almost parallel to the decrease in full-time employment. So where one person may have been working, say, a 40-hour week contract, now two people would each be contracted 20 hours. And funnily enough, this crossover section occurred in 2009. So because technically more people are employed, the rates falsely imply a slight slowing down of job loss. But in reality,
the amount of available work is shrinking, and the economy is only getting worse.
So what happened last time we were in this mess? Let's go back to '93. What changed? Was it an orderly street protest which brought back the jobs? Perhaps it was some well thought out policy from Parliament that changed things.
Maybe everyone just stopped being lazy and simultaneously arrived at the decision to go out there and get a job.
But maybe it has something to do with technology. In '93, Microsoft released their Windows NT operating system. Intel developed the first Pentium processor. And the National Centre for Supercomputing Applications released version 1 of Mosaic, which was to be the world's first internet web browser. It's estimated that the internet grew throughout the 90s at a rate of 100% per year, subsequently improving global communication and creating many job possibilities within developed countries. Now, to remove any speculation as to whether or not this was the reason for the growth in jobs, it should be noted that throughout the 90s, our employment trends were almost identical to the US trends, and in a 2007 paper, a team of Harvard economists found the economic expansion of the 90s was in fact driven by the increased efficiency in the production of IT, including computing, software, and telecommunications. The birth of the internet had propelled us into a new age and saved us from further degradation. However, while emerging technology is responsible for having created many new jobs, technology has been known to replace jobs throughout history. When employment stagnated in 2001, this wasn't because technology had stopped expanding or that there weren't any new ideas. The stagnation is simply because technology is ever improving, and the amount of new jobs were being matched by the number of job losses. Economists will always deny that technology replaces jobs. It's called the lump of labour fallacy. Essentially, it's the notion that technology merely redistributes human workers. The jobs which become obsolete or automated simply allow humans to explore new sectors, perhaps even invent new industries which have yet to be conceived of. Well, while this idea may have been partially true in the past, the argument simply doesn't hold up anymore. Computers these days are much smaller, faster, and durable, with ever-increasing mobility, dexterity, and artificial intelligence. They also become cheaper as time goes on. Moore's law demonstrates how computer processing power doubles approximately every 18 months. So, even if we were to create new jobs, why are we pretending we would give these jobs to humans? So, what does the government have to say about all this? Well, in June of 2011, not knowing what to do with the increasing unemployment, they invested £5 billion in the Welfare to Work scheme, also known as the Work Programme. This 5-year programme promises to help 2.4 million people find and secure long-term employment by paying private companies to do the work of actually looking for jobs on behalf of their unemployed clients. 1 year later, the Department for Work and Pension released the figures. Turns out the work program was a complete failure. Only 3.4% of all those who signed up to the program actually found work. 3.4%. Let's just put that into context. What percentage of people looking for work gained employment without the help of the program? 1%? 2%? Well, the figures from the same period show 5.5%. That's right. If you're assigned to the program, you are statistically less likely to find a job. Now, the failure of the work program can be largely attributed to the lack of available jobs. But perhaps there's another factor. In joining the program, if you find a job, you forfeit your right to minimum wage employment. And in place, you are subsidised with an amount equivalent to job seekers' allowance, making the work program essentially a paid slavery scheme, excused under the guise of gaining experience. In late 2012, university graduate Kate Riley disputed the legality of the program after being assigned to stack shelves in Poundland. Initially, her appeal was rejected. However, after further appeal, by 2013, 3 judges had ruled the regulations under which most of the back-to-work schemes were created are unlawful. Now, whatever the government's response to this ruling will be, they will not stop in their efforts to resolve the threat of unemployment. But let's face it, unemployment is not a threat to this system for the reasons we are usually given by mainstream outlets. Forget all the noise about economic recession, benefit cheats, immigration, or the idea that people are simply too lazy to look for a job. Automation, thus technological unemployment, is a mathematical inevitability of a system based on perpetual growth. And this pending eventuality is vastly misunderstood by the majority. And not just the majority of voters. There isn't a single politician who acknowledges, let alone understands the implications of technological unemployment. And what's worse, when human beings don't understand something, that's where fear comes from. We fear what we don't understand, and we fight what we don't understand.
Okay, I have a very concrete question for you because you're getting wrapped up in this money and regulators and who was at fault. Sorry, technological automation is replacing jobs at the moment, and it has been forever. It's doubling every year. That's the rate, regardless of what financial system you have and what regulators you put in that place. So, without jobs as a basis for the economy, it's not really a question, more of a statement. Your system is going to be obsolete, and in fact, you're very lucky that you've been working this long because you get to get out at the last floor. It's going away.
Yeah, but on the other side of the coin, I fear for my children.
Absolutely, absolutely. So why are you a fan of the banks then?